Students, we have learnt about triangle law and polygon law in video session 2. In lecture 2, we have completed these two triangle law and as well as polygon law. And even we have also learned how to add vectors by analytical method. As already mentioned, triangle law is used for if two vectors are there, then you can use triangle law. If there are many number of vectors such that they are forming multiple sides of the parallel polygon, then in such cases we will be using polygon law. These things we have already learnt in video session 2. Now coming to new method of addition of vectors, it is parallelogram law of vector addition. This is very important and you need to understand the concept behind parallelogram law of addition of vectors. See, in this statement it is given that if two vectors acting simultaneously at a point can be represented both in magnitude and direction by the adjacent sides of a parallelogram drawn from a point, then the resultant vector is represented both in magnitude and direction by the diagonal of parallelogram passing through that point. So what does this statement mean? It is statement of parallelogram law of vectors. What does this statement mean? It states that you have two vectors. Let me consider this is one vector and there is another vector. Let me represent it with another color. Let me take, I'll change these denotations. This you take it as B bar and this you take it as A bar. And this angle you represent it with, alpha. Take this as angle alpha, or else let it be no problem. Now let me consider one vector B bar and another vector A bar. These are the two vectors. These two vectors are inclined by an angle P and both of them are starting from the same point. So when you are dealing with such type of vectors, these two vectors are forming two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. I want to find out the resultant of these two vectors. Now when the vectors are being given like this, in order to find out the resultant, you cannot use triangle law directly, because if you use triangle law, the resultant should be like this. This should become resultant according to triangle law, but this is wrong. It should not be the resultant, because these two vectors are not these two vectors are starting from the same point. Then in such cases we cannot use triangle law. You need to alter these vectors, bring this A to the other side, here join the tail with head, and then you can construct a triangle law. So when we are going with this kind of vectors which are starting from same point, then in such cases you can use parallelogram law of vectors to add them directly. Now how to add these vectors directly? Let me show you. Now you have two adjacent sides of the parallelogram. Now in order to construct a parallelogram, you should draw A bar and B bar. The other two sides also you need to draw in order to complete the parallelogram. I'll now first do that. This is one vector and the other vector is B bar. This is another vector. A bar and B bar, I have drawn it again. This is A bar and this is B bar. Now we have constructed a parallelogram. It is completed parallelogram. For this completed parallelogram, the resultant of the parallelogram, the resultant of these two vectors A bar and B bar is represented by the diagonal of the completed parallelogram. Now parallelogram is completed, diagonal of the parallelogram from the same point where two vectors are joining. So that means you should draw a diagonal from here to here. I'll change the color so that it becomes very easy. This is the resultant of the vector. Two vectors, A bar and B bar. And this is the diagonal of the parallelogram. And remember, you need to take the diagonal of the parallelogram in such a way those vector that from the point where two vectors are starting, you need to take from the same point, you need to take that vector and join over here. Okay. And this diagonal is making an angle Q. A bar and B bar both are inclined by an angle P, and the resultant which is over here, this resultant vector is making an angle Q. Okay. This is R. R magnitude. What is meant by R magnitude? R magnitude mean length from the starting point to the ending point. This is O and this is R. Length from O to R is nothing but magnitude of that resultant vector, and angle made by the resultant vector is Q. This is the resultant vector Q. Fine. Now in this particular session, we are now going to derive equation for resultant of vectors A bar and B bar, and we should find out the angle also. We should find out R magnitude and we should find out angle Q. Okay. So these two things we need to find out using parallelogram law of vectors. So for that, what should I do? Simply, I'll go for some mathematical constructions. I'll just drop one perpendicular from here. I'll drop one perpendicular here. This is one. And one more, I'll extend it from here. Just I have dropped one perpendicular and I'll denote these with some points, like I'll name them as O, this is A, it is B, this is R, let me take this as N, and it is perpendicular. As I already told you, OB is equal to AR, because this is parallelogram, sides of opposite sides will be definitely equal, and this is A. And this angle is angle made by A bar with the x-axis. So this angle will also be equal to P. Okay. Now I have simple geometrical constructions. I am dropping R, N, a perpendicular, and extending OB sideward, so that you have got these extensions for parallelogram. Now in order to find out this R bar, what should I do? I should take this bigger triangle. From triangle O R N, I'll take this bigger triangle. I want to find out hypotenuse, right? So magnitude of R is equal to, or R square is equal to ON square plus RN square. It is ON square plus RN square, that is R magnitude whole square. But what is ON? ON is equal to OB plus BN. It is OB plus BN whole square plus RN whole square. OB plus BN whole square plus RN whole square, right? So R magnitude whole square can be simply written as OB plus BN whole square is OB square plus BN square plus 2 OB into BN plus RN square, right? Take this as equation number 1. Now let me write this OA. What is OA? OA is magnitude of A. What is OB? OB is magnitude of B. And what is OR? OR is equal to magnitude of R, right? Now take this triangle. From triangle BRN, this triangle BR and N, from this triangle I can write sine P is equal to opposite side RN divided by hypotenuse is A. Cos P is equal to, what is cos P? It is Bn divided by A. Okay. So therefore, I'll simply now write Rn as Rn is equal to, from this triangle I am writing Rn is equal to A sin P. A sin P, and what is Bn? Bn is equal to A cos P. So we have got all those terms which are related with equation 1. Just substitute all these in equation 1. R magnitude whole square is equal to OB square, that is B square, plus Bn square, it is A square cos square P, plus 2 into OB is B into Bn is A sin P, plus what is Rn? Rn is equal to A square and sin square P. A square cos square P, A square sin square P, you can write it as A square. So R square is equal to B square plus A square plus 2AB into 2AB. Something I have made mistake. Here it should be Bn, right? Bn is cos P. I'm sorry, this is cos P. Cos P. It is cos P. Okay, this is R square. Then how do you write for R? R is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 2AB into cos P. This is equation for magnitude of resultant vector, and this is also called as cosine law. This is also called as cosine law. Now you can find out the resultant magnitude. Resultant magnitude is very simple. It is simply obtained by using the equation A square plus B square plus 2AB into cos P. P is angle between A bar and B bar. Now I want to find out angle made by this resultant vector with the horizontal, right? So for that, I'll just use this. Tan Q is equal to opposite side divided by adjacent side in triangle ORN. So take this bigger triangle O, R and N. This is a right angle triangle, right? So for this right angle triangle, I can write tan Q is equal to opposite by adjacent side. So from there, I'll simply represent with tan Q is equal to, what is opposite side? Rn. Rn is A sin P divided by, what is adjacent side? Adjacent side is On. On is equal to B plus A cos P. Right? This is the final expression for angle made by the resultant with respect to x-axis. We have got magnitude and as well as angle made by the vector with x-axis. Now see here, we have got two conclusions from this, R and as well as angle made by the vector with respect to x-axis. Now take this equation R. This is the resultant vector, right? Resultant magnitude. Now let us take case 1. A bar is parallel to B bar. That means, for example, A bar is like this. This is A bar and B bar is also in the same direction. This is B bar. Two vectors are in the same direction. What is angle? What is angle between them? Theta is equal to 0. That means P, angle P will be equal to 0. If P is equal to 0, what is cos P? Cos P is equal to 1. That means cos 0 will be equal to 1, right? Take that and substitute in this equation 1. R is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB, and cos 0 will be however 1. This is under root. It is equal to under root A plus B whole square. Root and square gets cancelled. This is equal to A plus B. So resultant magnitude R is equal to A plus B. Right? This is case 1. So what does it mean? If A bar and B bar both are in the same direction, then you can add them directly, right? That is case 1. Now let me explain case 2. If A bar is opposite to B bar, that means if two vectors are opposite to each other, this is A bar and another vector, this is B bar. Okay, A bar and B bar both are opposite to each other. If these two vectors are opposite to each other, what is the angle between them? P is equal to 180 degrees. So what is cos 180? Cos 180 is equal to -1. Just substitute that -1 here. So what do you get for A? You can write A as A is equal to, sorry, not A, it is R. R is equal to A square plus B square. Cos 180 is -1, right? So minus I am taking it here, 2 times AB under root. What is A square plus B square minus 2AB? A square plus B square minus 2AB is A minus B whole square. This is equal to under root A minus B whole square. And this square and root gets cancelled. So R will be equal to A minus B. So case 2 tells that if two vectors are opposite to each other, then in that case, directly you can subtract them. Suppose if one vector is 10 unit, right side, another vector is 5 unit, left side. 10 minus 5 gives you 5. Resultant answer is 5. Directly you can do that. That is case 2. Next, case 3. Two vectors are perpendicular to each other. If A bar is perpendicular to B bar. If two vectors are perpendicular to each other, what is angle between them? Theta, that means P is equal to 90 degrees. So cos 90 is equal to 0. Then R is equal to under root A square plus B square plus 0. So resultant magnitude is equal to A square plus B square. This is simply the Pythagoras theorem. This is the way you can use parallelogram law of vectors, and you can add those two vectors irrespective of their directions. So you can take any possible directions. Two vectors can be any direction. You can add them. So in order to add two vectors which are starting from the same point, what you need to do, simply construct a parallelogram. After constructing the parallelogram, draw one diagonal. Diagonal is the resultant vector, and already we know resultant magnitude is equal to A square plus B square plus 2AB cos angle between those two vectors under root. You can find out the angle by using the basic formulas, right? So this is very simple thing. Two vectors are given to you. A bar is equal to minus 2i plus j minus 3k, and B bar is equal to 5i plus 3j minus 2k. These are the two vectors given to you, and remember I, j, k by default they are unit vectors. I am not representing cap on their head. So A bar and B bar are two vectors. Now you want to find out the third vector. If 3a bar plus 2b bar plus c bar is equal to 0, then find out the vector c bar. Third vector you need to find out. What is given to you? It is given 3a bar plus 2b bar minus c bar is equal to 0. This is given to you. Now in order to find out c, what do you do? Just bring the c onto the right side. 3a bar plus 2b bar is equal to c bar. Is equal to c bar. So what I do in order to find out this c is equal to 3a bar plus 2b bar. That means a bar magnitude ni 3 times multiply cheyali. B bar magnitude ni 2 times multiply chesi రెండిటిని add చేస్తే మీకు c bar వస్తుంది. So that is what I will do now. C bar is equal to 3 times. What is a? Minus 2i plus j minus 3k. Right? Plus 2 times b it is 5i plus 3j minus 2k. Okay, this is equal to minus 6i plus 3j minus 9k plus 10i plus 6j minus 4k. Now check it up. Minus 6i plus 10i, it is plus 4i, plus 3j plus 6j plus 9j, minus 9k minus 4k, it is minus 13k. This is C bar. This is the resultant vector C bar. So far we have learnt when a vector is being given to you in terms of its components, you can find out its magnitude, you can find out its angle made by the vector with x-axis, and also we have learned how to add those different vectors in different directions. Now let us see what is meant by resolution of vectors. Sometimes you will be given a vector, say this is O and this is P. OP is a vector whose magnitude is known to you. That means magnitude of OP is 4 units. Magnitude is known, and this angle made by the vector with respect to x-axis is also, let me consider this angle as 30 degrees. And if angle made by the vector with x-axis, if that is also known to you, that is theta mentioned as 30 in this case. Okay, sometimes they will be giving you a vector like this, like they will be giving you hypotenuse or the magnitude of the vector and angle will be given to you. You should find out its projection along x-axis and y-axis. Okay, now how much is the length projected along x-axis? This is the length projected by the vector along x-axis, right, from here to here. And how much is the length projected along y-axis? This is the length projected along y-axis, and this length is called as x component of vector OP. And what is this called? The other one, it is called as y component of vector OP. Okay, so I want to find out these components, x component and y component. I need to find out. So for that, what I do, I'll simply I'll complete this triangle, right? Let me complete this triangle. Now this forms one right angle triangle, is it not? Now this right angle triangle which is being formed, from there you can write sine 30 is equal to opposite side y component divided by what is hypotenuse? It is 4 mentioned in the vector itself. Its magnitude is 4. So how do you write y? Y is equal to 4 into sine 30. Sine 30 is 1 by 2. That is equal to 2 units. Okay. So y is equal to 2 units. Y component length you have got. It is 2 units. Now I want to find out x component length. How do you write it? Cos 30 is equal to x divided by 4. From here, x is equal to 4 into cos 30 is equal to root 3 by 2. This is equal to 2 root 3 units. This is 2 root 3 units, right? So x component and y component of the vectors are known to you, right? What is x component written as? X component is simply written as magnitude of OP into cos theta. How is y component written as? Y component is equal to magnitude of OP into sin theta, right? So this vector which is OP, you can resolve that vector into components. Okay, so the given vector you can write it in terms of x component and as well as y component. So simply I will represent that vector OP as OP is equal to x component, this is along x axis, plus y component, this is along j. So what is x? X is equal to OP cos theta into I cap plus OP sin theta into j cap. So OP vector is now obtained, that is OP cos theta I cap plus OP sin theta j cap. But what is the values of OP cos theta and OP sin theta? So OP vector is equal to, along x-axis it is 2 root 3 I cap plus 2 j cap. This is the vector notation of the given magnitude OP, right? So in this total slide, like with my explanation, you are able to understand that OP is a vector whose magnitude is known and angle made by that vector with x-axis is known to you. No other data is known. Using that data, what you are doing is you are finding x component of that vector and y component of that vector. So x component and y component, once you evaluate it, you can write it in the form of a vector. So simply the vector which is given as 4 units, you can write that vector as OP bar, which is 2 root 3 I plus 2j. Okay. So this is nothing but called resolution of vectors. So a given vector can be split into its x component and y component. This is nothing but called as resolution of vectors. So when you are resolving a vector can be in any coordinate, either in first quadrant or second quadrant or third quadrant or fourth quadrant. You can resolve that vector into its components using trigonometric ratios. Generally, horizontal component should be represented with cos theta. Vertical component should be represented with sin theta. That depends upon the angle made by the vector with respect to x-axis or y-axis. So far what we have learned, just within one minute I'll conclude it. A bar, sometimes a vector will be given in terms of its components. So A bar is given as xi plus yj. X and y are components of that vector. If components are given to you, you can find out the magnitude of the vector as A is equal to under root x square plus y square. And you can find out angle made by the vector with x-axis as tan theta is equal to y component length divided by x component length. And theta is equal to tan inverse of y divided by x. This is number 1. And the other thing is number 2. What it is? Sometimes you will be given a vector whose magnitude is something like magnitude of OA is equal to A, right? Magnitude of vector OA is equal to A. This will be given to you. Magnitude will be given to you directly. OA magnitude, let me consider it as A, and angle will be given to you. Angle is equal to theta. So in the second case, you have got magnitude and angle. Now you should find out its components. So you can resolve this vector into components. If magnitude is known, magnitude and angle is known, we can resolve vector into components. Okay. So how do you write x component? X component is generally adjacent side. So x component is equal to A cos theta. Y component is generally opposite side. It is A sin theta. So simply I can now resolve this vector as OA bar, which is equal to A cos theta I cap plus A sin theta j cap. This is how you can resolve a vector into its components, right? These are the two things. If vector in terms of components is given, you can find out its magnitude and angle. If magnitude and angle is given, you can find out its x component and as well as y component. The resolution of vector is nothing but, if magnitude and angle is given to you, then finding its components is nothing but resolution of vector into components.